All right. Hey, people. Welcome back to my Katawa Shoujo stream. And we're going to start off Emmy's route. We're going to load the save where I already know I'm going to end up with Emmy's route. Yeah, as you can see, we finished Lily's route yesterday. So, yeah. All right, let's load the save. So this is where I had the choice to go to either Emmy or Lily / Hanako, and I did choose Lily's route. So if I continue from foot and mouth, that would lead me to Emmy's route. I kind of did some advanced lookup when I decided to go to just before I decided to go to Lily's route. All right, let's get started. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slot into the calendar, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it and quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry, Yuko. Didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. After reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come out of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimal fuzz, I quickly walk over to the counter and check out my books and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room to read books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I start thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice too, helplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this crippled wonderland. So just before I started the stream, I was playing a couple of music, right? And the first song was Zakaros, the true ending route for Zakaros Looking Glass Insects, and then when he mentioned Alice in Wonderland, my brain just like, yeah, I had to remember that. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and the overtly way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It's like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since the time in the forest with Iwanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake out the feeling. 200 pages later, I fell asleep. I actually wonder if this reading Alice in Wonderland is actually useful for Emmy's route. This is Act. So we're back at Act 1. So I actually don't know how things are gonna roll from here, unless he's just randomly reading the book. The students roll into class for a Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who worked through the night. Okay, so we're back to this stuff. The preparation for the school festival. I'll try to skip scenes we already seen in Lily's playthrough. So I'm just gonna skip through this. I don't want to use the skip button because it is too well. It's too. I don't have much control on how much I skip, so I'm just gonna manually click on things. So we've been through this. Okay, let me press control. Let's see how far we go. We've seen this. Oh, there we go. This is different because when we were choosing between Lily's and Hanako's route, we would end up going into town to buy some food. So this time around, we encounter Amy. All right, this is new. On the way to dorms, I spot Amy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao. Splatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin, respectively. But her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Nothing, really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect. Then you can help me and Rin. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Amy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Amy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the third floor and to the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy had I known. So, is Rin working on that mural still? That's right. She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff. So I went to get them from the art classroom. Wait a second. So when we did Lily's route, we eventually encountered Rin in town for some reason. I don't know. Whatever they're doing right now is kind of related to why Rin was in town. Yeah, I actually don't know. Because I remember Rin was in town during this time. Or rather, she arrives after Lily and Hisao get into the convenience store. What's that about? Anyway, let's continue. And you need me to help with that. Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Amy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves, and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Amy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny, crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the footshelves in the most unorganized fashion. Some look like they have been left there for several decades, relics of the previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form the unmistakable scent of art. Amy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Amy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at the toy store, puffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels. During the fraction of a second, she can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Jesus Christ. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, don't let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, wearing scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging hump, turns her back to me. So I begin scouring around the top shelf for paint while below. Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy, having a complex about her height, was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Alright, she's a little sensitive about certain things. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like the treasure hunter's spoils, do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the high chat that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. Remember, the choice to get here involved me pushing myself. So I already have an idea she likes to push herself. But Amy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Rin. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though. She should have started earlier. If you remember Lily's route, Emmy only starts working on it when she gets back in the evening. So I don't know. Let's see where Rin is right now. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me. But with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position, She hasn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses haven't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kind of unhinged, so to speak. Amy giggles at that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Amy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels so off about her. She's unique. That's all I can say. That's how I feel about her. She's unique. Still, we don't feel close like Misha and Shizuna do. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Amy giggles as I grasp about for a proper descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier, she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. Man, Emmy, what the fuck? Anyway, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about whether I should be like, I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, I mean, I can tell why Emmy finds that weird and silly, but it's like, I don't know. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird imaginary things populating the space between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there, looking very cozy, as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled out to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paints, similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back. That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Hisao, help me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and the movements in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hisao. Thanks for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you made progress. Looking good, as far as I can tell. But now you got more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course. Not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance. Their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see. Blind boy. So he doesn't see. He doesn't see. He should become an artist. No bad luck guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. Abandoning the train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming, a tune that I think I recognize, but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need that Peruvian blue paint. Which one's the Peruvian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with Peruvian blue paint in it. Jeez, Rin, you're not helping at all. I look around as well, even though I don't know what Peruvian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. This guy needs to study more history, bro. Well, none of the blues look more Prussian than the others. The small paint on the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There is no Prussian blue here. Why am I pronouncing it early as Peruvian when it's Prussian? We need to get more then. I open my mouth to say that actually, we're not both needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue. But Amy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I wave to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Yeah, Amy's kind of simple in that, like, she just decided to just go off. I mean, it might be totally possible that the Prussian blue does exist there, or Prussian blue would exist if they mix a mixture of like blue and a certain shade of blue and some other thing. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't even know what Prussian blue looks like as well. But anyway, well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Rin is, Amy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Amy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension draws on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize I've been breathing heavily since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everyone can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is, I should get in shape. Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured that there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually, it wasn't, but it was fun. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out, in fact. She produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I've got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it a once over. Time, date, and laps all laid out. Slow increase from a few laps a day to my god. Does she expect to have me running marathons? And where did she find the time to get all this? Where did she find the time to get this all together? I'm gonna die if I know an actual Emmy, man. I'm gonna die. Holy shit, what the fuck is this? Well, this is the route where I chose to push myself further, so. But I'm gonna die a natural death. No, actually, no. This is just straight up. Well, I don't know, man. And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy? Maybe Kenji's on to something. It's a good thing I was able to avoid that in Lily's route. This seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My god. Kenji, you could only see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for, anyway? It's easier to keep up a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it will make sure that I keep running as well. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you, just like he asked. You got on quick, Hisao. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. But I've got to at least put up a token resistant to such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you refuse, I'd have to pout. And you have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarazaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? I don't care, man. And as if to demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. I think I'd like to get her pouting a lot more. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy. So it sounds right. That's a good description. A puppy. You're going to be my running partner? Follow the workout? And the dietary plan? Huh? Dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. You got to eat healthy if you're going to get in shape, you know. Examine the workout routine closely. I don't see the dietary plan on here. Right, I forgot to give that to you. Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication the nurse has to keeping me in good shape is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. Well, you know, you're in a special school, man. I can imagine the nurse of a very special school for health-related reasons is going to be more conscious about health compared to your normal average Japanese school. I don't know, man. But, you know. Then again, I guess I'm not in normal school, as I just mentioned. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, the dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that will be offered at the festival tomorrow. So, when does our running start? After the festival? Right after? What if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomach ache, you know? I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that paint for Rin, huh? Oh, no, it slipped my mind. This route, man. What the hell is this route? It's like it's feels it's cute that she has a plan, but it also feels like it doesn't have a plan. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe this feeling. It's like you can see a detailed plan, but it doesn't feel like a plan. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, by the time we get the paint and get back to the mural, Ren's already wandered off. I can imagine she went to town for some reason. Except that I can imagine Lily doesn't stop this time around because I don't know. Rin's just standing randomly in town and his aunt isn't there to bring her back. Oh well. Emmy and I both decide to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Rin will find it whenever she comes back anyway. Festival's tomorrow. I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the week's left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little, then go to bed. Lily's version of this scene is way more longer, so this is quite shorter. The next day I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's a Sunday and there are no classes. Wait, we already probably seen this scene before, but I'm just gonna let this roll over for a while until I start noticing something really different. Okay, same stuff. Okay, same stuff. Okay. All right, this is new. This is new. This is new. I think I also accidentally skipped a scene or two. She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? Do you know who you are dealing with? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Her. You sold your soul to the devil and didn't get anything in return. Oh yeah, this scene's new. And Kenji has a lot more to say about fucking Emmy than Lily. The shrill scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. It is as if I told the Catholic priest, I sold my soul to the devil. Well. It's been a long time that I saw someone screech like this. This is so indicative that the writer is a 4chan guy. This is how we go schizo, man. You know Emmy from our year? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm returning. Oh, I'm doing this right. Okay. When the mouse wheel thing's kind of weird. She's one of them. A key player in a vast conspiracy that aims for the complete submission of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trusted in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. And if I remember correctly, in Lily's version of this, he was like, you're infiltrating or some shit. But with Emmy, he just goes, he just starts molding, man. You have to call it off before it's too late. This festival too, it's just one of their ploys. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's starting to start a fire. It slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. Okay. Same stuff, same stuff. Okay. Okay, this line's you. I got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about the underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short, too. I could have finished it in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, it definitely would be. But I suppose that it would probably be a better idea to head outside, see the festival, try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat. My stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. I'm soon outside, surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often, I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. The ones who can't stop staring, and behind their eyes, you can tell they're thinking, now, what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them, but at the same time, can I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me, feel it for my own narrow-mindedness. Oh, okay, this is still Lily's class, right? I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of anger that burns my guts like wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land, where I can get some lunch. I like how they're selling beer at the right stall. Now that's the stall I want to get to. But you know, if I'm looking at the dishes, like 600 yen, 700 yen, what's the difference between the one on the middle and the right? It looks like the difference between the two is like it it has red ginger on it or something. I can't even tell what it is, but it looks like gyudon. That's what it looks like to me. Gyudon, hot dog, sausages, karaage, I guess, on the rightmost. And then on the right stall, you have a lot of beer. And kakigori on the cashier. Anyway, let's continue. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having a lunch? Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I mean lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? That's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch? That's my... whatever. It's my food. Amy places her hand on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Hisao. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is, mostly. All I get in response is a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You won't be here if that was the case, would you? The girl's got a point, of course. But I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. Yeah, sure. And it handled a little running just fine too. Amy seems unconvinced. It's surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Maybe, but not if you're sleeping the day away and all the time. A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you've been following a routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died. And there was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on the roof for a while. Which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise, like running in the mornings. She nods, as if something important had just been decided. I have no say in this, bro. I have no say in anything at all. She's so forceful. It's affecting me, man. It's like it's like she's talking to me to get my shit together, man. I feel her. I feel attacked. So it's settled then. You see the error of your ways and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. I see that with a question mark. We'll be running buddies. You know, you already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. She's right about eating healthy, after all. And here, I am ordering up something grossly unhealthy, but delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like staying alive. If Emmy wasn't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably. Hey, wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? Amy shrugs and grins at me. You're the new guy. I figured you don't have any friends yet, right? Okay. Besides, I'm causing you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would anyway. Huh. Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds fine. Thank you for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then. I figured that ends the conversation. So it turns and leaves. Not so fast. I feel a hand on my collar. In a second, I've been yanked backwards. Oh, my freedom! It's gone! Hey, no need to be so rough. What do you want now? Amy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. Thought you could use the company. What? Her eyes narrow. Besides, we're just going to try sneaking some of more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to. Now that she mentions it, it would have been a really good idea. That was not. Another glare. Okay, maybe I was going to get a little. The glare continues. Okay, a lot. Jesus. I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier, and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it. You can't be trusted. Now, I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine that what passerby think of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Maybe I should just give up for now. Fine. Do whatever you like. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. So, what do you want to do? Amy thinks for a minute. Well, I promised Rin I'd stop by her mural. So, let's do that. I confess, I'm slightly curious as to how her mural turned out myself. So again, I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent. I find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Amy races to our destination. Oh, nice. It's finished. By the time we've reached the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm the one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it will be obvious that I belong. But instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Amy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not going to die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be all my fault, and I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after the last time, I really don't think I need to see that again, especially because the nurse will totally say it's all my fault. N- Nah, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all. And you wanted to keep eating your greasy, whatever it is, whatever it was. See? It's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course, I don't add that. I would have been in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Further conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin. Oh, it's you. Hello, Emmy. Hello, Rin. I brought Hisao along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My objection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rin nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing here in front of the mural. Has anyone ever stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously, we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. You'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. It looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out, but I guess it will do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. We stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. The colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. There's a dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me almost feel sleepy. I tried hunting out some of the colors Amy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move. Amy speaks up. Hey Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Amy grins and claps her hands together. Good, come get some food with us. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care, wherever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We find a nice spot on the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases anyway. Somehow, I've ended up paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first, lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, you remember? Actually, it slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it, unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock sorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little of right food. And anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? I asked myself that question as well. I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? How many years have I asked that question to myself, but never do? So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with wild abandon before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do. If I'm going to run in the morning, I should make it in an early night. With narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just going to sneak off and buy some of that fried food over there? Nah. I'm too full to bother now. Pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Amy giggles, and it's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her. Doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. All part of my master plan, Hisao. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food and keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow because that would be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Typical Rin. I'm like, okay. Okay. That's also my reply. That's also sounds a reply. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. Cake? At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me. I flop onto my bed and read through the fireworks display. Damn, he just reads through the fireworks display in Lily's route, you know? At least she, at least him and Hanako, and I guess Lily just listens to it. We're there for the fireworks. Eventually, all of the walking around, or more accurately, running around, catches up to me, with me. I really am out of shape. Maybe dragging me out in the morning to run might just be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. Nice. The Emmy, opening scene, opening animation thing. Oh no! Misao, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Holy shit. Wait, why does she have red hair here? Wasn't she supposed to be blonde? Am I? Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be blonde? That's an unusual that's an unusual art for like the act. Okay. That a particular pose. Alright, we start act 2. We're gonna save. I plan to stream until like 3 or 4. It's 2 p.m. So let me adjust the lighting. My alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby, or even as a possible light lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. Why did they spell the t-shirt like T-E-E? The fuck? The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Amy's playing on me? Would that surprise me? Really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not I would actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. You're late. It would seem that Emmy is already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch. We're both early, in fact. Damn, you got me there. Wait, I should have said you're late. You're late. A wizard is never late, or or too early. Arrives precisely when they mean to, or some shit. Anyway, let's continue. Amy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was the joke or something. Nah, never make someone get up early for nothing. Plus, Rin owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up. I knew it! Nice to know Emmy was on my side at least. Emmy hops off the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably little. Little? Little? Lit? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I think this is the first time I've even seen this word. I'll just say little because little means she's small. Sounds like she's small, but referring to something else. Little. Almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized that I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my one stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. Oh, maybe that's what. No, stretching only prevents you getting from cramps and all, but it might also help with the heart rate stuff, I guess? Question mark? I don't even know. I only know the part where it prevents you from getting cramps. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay though, so maybe I'm just being morose. It's been a while since I've seen that word. Amy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No. Hisao, you got to hold it for longer than that. I'm trying. It kind of hurts a little. Ha! That's because you're out of shape. You got to get some flexibility in you like this. To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emmy. I see. Is that the sort of thing I should strive for? Of course. Flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you're stretched out. That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help. Well, it also helps you from, for your muscles having problems. Oh, now I feel like stretching as well. What the fuck? Maybe this route will make me healthy as well. Maybe I'll start running tomorrow. Way to trick myself there. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? As 4 laps around the track, got it? That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her. Try to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. We round the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I started to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't seem to be breaking a sweat. Bro, she's very fit, of course. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never. Better. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then, huh? Oh, no. Wouldn't want you to exert yourself. Heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao. We'll stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such a terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in raggrass. I'm almost awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our fourth lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go! She takes off at blinding speed, while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time we get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the back stretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it! I don't want to die, bro! What the fuck? You almost saw me die! Wait, sorry. I have to go back there and answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. You're lactic acid, bro. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her sweat to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears this black sports bra. I feel a big stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at girls' chests, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to carry that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. No you to say. So, Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavier than she was before we started running. It must have been the spirit. It must have been the sprint that did that. Hey, I got to get a few sprints in. You can walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire, and my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly, my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hands behind your head. It makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breathing coming back to me. There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though. That is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, or her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time we got into the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerfully as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I've got to cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt over ever so slightly, so that I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. How do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good. Actually, I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, a part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. Yeah, that's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with adrenaline. Amy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. Then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? I open my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she just said. Emmy watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. Why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh no, you better get a move on, Hisao. Class is in an hour, and I need to shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Amy points to her prosthetics, as if that would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation, from sweat or friction or anything. Normally, I only go after practice, but if we're going to be doing this morning runs, then I guess I'll see him twice a day. Wait, so Amy has only started doing this run since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time, don't be silly. I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'm less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, So, you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need the exercise, so it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Amy's pretty fun to hang out with. And she's right. I do need the exercise. Doctor's orders, even. Amy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch, the meal. In the middle of the day. Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Realize it up there. When? Lunchtime. When else? That was a silly question. Yeah, but I sort of feel the need to ask all three for the completeness' sake. Emmy last grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hisao. See ya. With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find that the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. I've been doing a lot of cold showers lately. Not fun, but I've been trying something out lately that requires cold showers. Anyway, I managed to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart surprisingly feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel like a bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I have excuse beyond I am out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up. Otherwise, I'm sure Emmy wouldn't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself that I realize I've only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. The hands on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's given me a hell of an appetite. Well, it takes it takes 2 weeks for your body to get used to like starting exercise from nothing. So the first 2 weeks are gonna be hell. And then once you're done with the first 2 weeks, it's gonna be all right. From experience, at least. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some pre-packaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Ritten aren't there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door to the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down, part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds? I need to just look at them right side up. Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? Aha, that caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You may have a point. Maybe sideways. As Rin lays down on the bench to look at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses the moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges. Sorry it took me so long. There was a ton of people in line. Draws the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her? Sometimes, yeah. And have Rin buy my lunch for me in return. But I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or in witnessing the beginning of a cat fight. 2 girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. Hey, Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's as lost as I am. Hey, Hisao, you're coming to the track meet, right? The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet. Honestly, Hisao, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me with the morning, you wouldn't even show up at my track meet? Wasn't she the one that asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I just agreed to give her $1 million. This is like just she's trying to gaslight me to the shit. So, you'll be coming after all. That's great. I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something after the meet's tomorrow over. I feel like I've been cornered, I've been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force pushing me irrevocably toward my destiny. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily, otherwise I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose I've got to show up now. I don't think I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I never hear the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot. Well, you won't forget to come though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on the calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, unless time changes its course. It can do that?
I mean, really, what? You're asking that question? What the fuck?
Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time, it's Emmy who gives a shrug. I suppose it can't be helped if it happens.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I can't take this conversation, but man,
I'm like, what? Unless you're a time traveler or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you? I don't think we do. Do we? Rin shrugs again. This seems to be her default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. Rin, that statement makes a disturbing amount of sense.
it's annoying.
The fact that I realize that this frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it. No, Emmy merely nods. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her. Your response to the sort of thing I'd expect from you, that's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Nah, it's just that your unpredictability is pretty predictable. Well, that's alright then. I don't get the chance to see whether Rin's getting serious or not as the bell rings. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about, man. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Amy jumps up, a look of panic on her face. Oh no, I need to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had a time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line. Like she just won an argument. What the fuck? He's bringing this up right now? Amy ignores Rin's comment. Sorry, Hisao, but can you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? I usually clean up by myself, but I've got to run. Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup. For some reason, I doubt Emmy's ever raised that issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hit-chan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider. Oh really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? What? What are you talking about? You were on the roof, right? With both Rin and Emmy, no less, you Casanova, you. We just had lunch, that's all. Misha burst into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. Wow, you're so adorable when you blush like that, Hit-chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There's no secret. Oh? Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again. Time will tell. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. It knows this is what it eats, but I'm not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to be looking at over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through the math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everyone else is except for. Well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emily's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here? Says Sal. Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug, and to be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I can think who I could visit. So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I'll just go visit Emmy. Is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing on my own presence, teasing on my own presents itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to get the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding, I was kidding. So you are down here to stalk me. Wait, what? That's not what I meant. But I stalk you anyway. Not like it requires stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment. Well, you're not all wrong, I suppose. But you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know. I nod, conceding the point. Plus, I hang out with Rin sometimes. So, really, I might take some effort to stalk. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh, really? Like what? Amy puts her head to one side as if she's trying to remember what it is she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go out shopping sometimes. I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl, after all. But Rin? Rin comes with you? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus, she likes this music store that sells all kinds of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps focus her. Wait, what? I'm having a hard time with this sentence. Does it sound like a natural sounding sentence? That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Amy wags a finger at me. Now. Why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow, I think that's all that Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question has been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. Ha! That's an understatement of the year. So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you hang out with a lot of people. But I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin. You just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your classes. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it is because the lunch was so strange. Amy shrugs, looking for a moment very Rinish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like, okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yes. I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And that's why we're similar. You lost me. Amy frowned as if trying to figure out her answer. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reasons. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art. Is that it? Well, sort of. Let me think. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed. Not surprising. I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She says we both chase after an extreme. Actually, that is true. Like, she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner, and Rin's a painter even without arms. So we respect each other's determination, and that's why we hang out. I think. Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me. But from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about too much. We just get along, and I think that's really all that matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So, what got you into running anyway? I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, and so as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was our father-daughter thing, you know, our own mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I got to get a few more laps in before I go see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. It seems to me she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. She rounds the track. I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but her eyes seem to have taken a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a little while, then stand up to head back to my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework reckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not used to my new surroundings as I'd like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason I'm awake, and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up for me to fall asleep. Wait a second. If it's supposed to be like summer for them right now at this point in the game, and then, it really does get. If he sees his breath, it's really cold. It really is cold in the evening. I mean, it's in a kind of mountainous area, so elevated area. I mean, let's continue. At this point, either option works for me. I find myself in the track, where for the first time Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early, even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon, and I know with an awful certainty I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down a little. Oh shit, he fell asleep on the track. Someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up! Huh? Where? What? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You're going to catch a cold or something. I rub my eyes and am confronted by Emmy, who bends over me with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. Couldn't sleep. Watched the sun come up. Sounds like something Rin would say. I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes with sleeping on the bench for a few hours. Is it? I wouldn't know. Emmy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response. So, couldn't sleep, huh? Obviously, we need to run you harder today. Even though I've only known her for a week, this seems a very Amish reply to their problem. Hey, my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see the difference. If you run enough, if you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me from the bleachers with a surprising strength for someone her size. Now, come on. Hey, Sal, we got work to do. I don't actually know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, I obviously didn't get much sleep. What sleep I got was on the bleachers. I don't know. Should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course you should be running. How else do you expect to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping in the bleachers, for heaven's sake. The best way to get out of the sort is to run around a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. There's no arguing that. I'm pretty sure she'll kill me if I didn't do as she said. I get to my feet and hop onto the track. The sun is swarming things out rather nicely, I think. Emmy and I begin to stretch out, and find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every morning, I might be able to get used to this. You know, Hisao, it's not polite to stare. I wasn't staring, I swear! Emmy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a minute, as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. But then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. Honestly, you didn't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. So, that's enough stretching, right? Emmy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretch? That's really how you tell. Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go. Okay, suddenly I feel like stretching as well. Same as yesterday, okay? Well, we'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast. Just worry about keeping the pace, got it? You're the boss. Emmy grins again, and we take off around the track. I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap, and my legs are on fire. The breath is coming in ragged gasps. I can feel sweat pouring down my brow. We only just rounded the second turn. Come on, Hisao. You got 3 more laps to go. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I think I might hurl. Somehow we're on the second lap. Emmy's not even sweating. How could she do this so effortlessly? Obviously she's been doing this a lot. That's her body so used to it. My bro, you just started. For some reason I'm still moving. She's like a machine. Third lap. What happened to the second? Almost there, Hisao. Liar. We've got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Emmy whirls around and begins running backwards. Her face is a mass of anger that surprises me. Never say that. If you say that, you've already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it. Whoa, language. We're on the 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs move. They feel so sluggish. I'm in mud, or molasses, or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on. Final stretch, Hisao. Give it all you've got. I pump my legs as fast as they go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving. Somehow I finish. That's it, Hisao. I knew you had it in you. The anger Emmy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced by pride. She's positively radiant, like she just won a gold medal or something. I stagger to a stop and fall to my knees and hands and knees, grasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has in a long time.
Oh no, he's gonna die again!
I don't think it's done this since. Oh God. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough, and for some reason, I feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right here. But then I feel my heart slowing down. Two hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. I look up and see Amy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry. On your feet! Come on! You'll never catch your breath that way. Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me, like she's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible and say so. Emmy laughs. But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? I'm not sure. I don't really have the breath to say so, but that small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if it's my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. As soon as it becomes apparent I'm not going to suddenly kneel over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile. I can imagine running a mile is like warm up for her. But I guess she's in much better shape than me. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird. But she's like a different person when she's pushing herself. The last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seemed to be running harder, like she did yesterday. Sweat starting to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get enough air to her nose. As she passes me once, legs pumping, air swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted. She looks beautiful. Nice. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Hisao. That's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I wouldn't have stopped if you hadn't yelled it. I wouldn't have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that. I just can't stand to see people give up, especially about something like this. Saying, I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What? Saying silly things? Amy sticks out her tongue at me. Idiot! I mean, showing that you're alive. Showing I'm alive, huh? I didn't know it had to be so painful, but it does feel pretty good, despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and then the third day is easier. You'll get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy? Yeah, of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty, or you'll never get ahead. You'll just get complacent, and you'll lose the sense of accomplishment. So I'll have to run more than just 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes Emmy, and her face lights up. Got it. Got what? You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand Grabbing my hand, she's up, pulling me along with her. My goodness, but you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I have no idea how we got to Emmy nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I can hear you coming a mile away. Somehow it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like this sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry. I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Hello, Hisao. What brings you here? Well, Hisao's officially joined me on my morning runs. I started to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought he might need to visit you so that he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises his eyebrow in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hisao, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that he's in the room with me. I'm blushing in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, aren't we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to give you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Hisao? I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal. She doesn't have to leave, but she's already out of the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it, huh? I don't follow. He laughs again, like he's in some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. It sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't going to say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so that you won't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here. I got hired on the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a nasty car wreck and nearly killed her and succeed. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving the unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not my place to say. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while, so we have a slightly more familiar relationship than that is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. Yeah, you're not supposed to say that shit. You're not supposed to say that shit. But he really got into it. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know that it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I have been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts is still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Hisao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally, it takes years to get to the point where you can even think about running again. Amy did it all in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches their daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they meet their prosthetics. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Andy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stereoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. Liar, man. He had like a little chest pain moment liar. He didn't talk about it. He had a little chest pain moment a while ago. No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath though, and my heart was racing by the end too. The nurse frowns as I say this, then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much, and of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? Put my shirt on. The nurse leans out of the doorway to call in Emmy. Bro. He literally had a chest pain episode earlier. He just didn't bother telling the nurse. What took you so long? Now I'm going to be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Hisao. That's all. What? Come on! What have I told you about seducing my friends? I'd expected Amy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though I fear young Hisao may be lost to the female gender forever. What the fuck? Not freaking likely. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Both the nurse and Emmy regarded me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. You got caught there, bro. They were both making stupid jokes, and then he replied as if that was a serious joke. Told you he was funny, didn't I? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Hisao, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point, and it looks like I only got a half hour. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hall, I can barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you got to be more careful. Shit, she's trying too hard. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. It's 3 o'clock. I'll try to end stream. No, wait. This is a good stopping point for me. Yeah, this is a good stopping point for me. I'll continue. I'll probably continue later. Oh, we're not supposed to see this stuff. There's a lot of things you're not supposed to see. Anyway, I'll try to stream again later. Probably it's 3 o'clock. I'll probably stream again around 8 or 9 or 7 or maybe 6. I don't know. I still have to cook dinner and all. And I have things to do from now to 5. And I'm gonna go grocery shopping to make some curry. And then we'll see how far I can go tonight. Anyway, that's a good start with Emmy's route. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Yeah, this is a weird, it's just straight up aiming at her butt. It's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys on the later stream.